What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Let's see how many people jump up in here with me tonight, if any. I know it's pretty late on a Monday. You guys probably watched all y'all streams for the day. You know what I'm saying? Cover 3, Law Nation. I'm not sure who else. CFO, DMV. You know, the GOATs. They go to this thing. They did their thing tonight, I know. Just wanted to jump up on here and have a chat about Conor Riley. It's been a couple days since I went live, so I'm just working it out and come out, trying to see what's up with the what's up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Right? Yeah. So let's just get straight to it. Let's just talk about Conor Riley and what he may bring to the Cowboys. Just did a little research today. I was in one of my moods. I wanted to do some research today. I figured we done already talked about Shotty. We done already talked about Clayton Adams, or at least you heard about Clayton Adams. I would expound on that more, but I don't want to oversaturate Cowboy Nation with the same thing. So I figured I'd take a dive into Conor Riley. So, Conor Riley started his Conor Riley's history goes back to about 1999 to 2010, after he was transferred from what was that, the Air Force Academy, and went to North Dakota. Went to Nebraska, Omaha, where he played 3 years from 1999 to 2022. As an offensive lineman. He won several awards. His senior year, he was deemed an All-American, high honors. And from there, that's where his coaching began. It started there at his alma mater, and he was just an assistant then. And he was there from 2003 to 2005. He started his O-line coaching at Concordia, St. Paul. First, he was a tight ends and running backs coach, or fullbacks coach. And from there, he went back to, he went to North Dakota in 2013. Started as a tight ends and fullbacks coach. Then he took over the O-line in 2014. And he ended up back in North Dakota State. He helped lead the program to 5 football championships, 5 FCS's national championships. So he definitely has that under his belt. And that was after he took over the O-line. You know what I'm saying? His O-line is ranked among the best. So it's not like we're not getting good pedigree. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely doing his thing. He definitely did his thing around that time. You know what I'm saying? 2013, his line set the school record at Missouri Valley football. And he totaled over 200 rushing yards per game that season. So yeah, he definitely coaches up the O-line. I mean, again, that's where he got to start. He was an O-lineman in college. You know what I'm saying? Then he started his coaching career, bounced around a little bit, and finally found his footing. He found his footing with, let me check my notes here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going, normally I go off the cuff, but I'm going to check my notes here. He was the O-line coach in 2019, and he got promoted to OC in 2024. That's when he was with K-State. Okay. His team averaged 34 points a game, and in his first 2 seasons, which is spectacular. They averaged 200 plus rushing yards a game, and in consecutive seasons, and for the first time in about 2 decades. So this dude, I mean, his background definitely speaks O-line. Now, if we really want to get into the meat and potatoes of what we may have, that's when we look at the Cooper BBs and you look at the Deuce Vaughns. Both of them had really good success. A lot of people probably won't say it, but I'm going to say it. Deuce Vaughn was actually spoken the same conversations with the Bijan Robinsons and the Jahmyr Gibbs of the world when he was at K-State. Cooper BB ended up being an All-American. I mean, so obviously, this guy knows his stuff. He's had 15 All-Americans. Throughout his tenure in coaching, he's actually been responsible for about 15 All-Americans, Cooper BB being one of them. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to have a stronger, better O-line this season, especially under Conor Riley. Now, remember, not only do we have Conor Riley, Dak Owens, what's the deal with you? How are you, brother? Not only do we have Conor Riley, but remember, we do have Clayton Adams. And Clayton Adams, he's been in the NFL again. Not going to oversaturate you with a bunch of Clayton Adams research because angry. What's the deal with you, bro? I'm not going to oversaturate you guys with Clayton Adams because I'm sure you've heard it from a multitude of our content creators. So I'm not going to oversaturate you with it. So I figured I'd just give you, Conor Riley. But remember, we do have Clayton Adams, who also is a successful O-line coach. Now, this is his first crack at an NFL offensive coordinator, of course, non-play calling. But to think that he won't have a hand in it would be, what's going on, Jerry? How are you, bro? Yes, sir. Just because we have Clayton Adams as our OC doesn't necessarily mean he won't be hands-on with the offensive line. Just because he's going to be non-play calling doesn't mean he's not going to have a hand in the scheme and how we roll out those weeks. So we have to at this point it's all speculation. You know what I'm saying? We all are going to say, yeah, we're going to have the best O-line in the NFC East, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and we don't know what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is I expect improvement. There's going to be improvement. I mean, if you look at the histories of the 3 main coaches on the offense, which is Shotty as the head coach, Clayton Adams as the OC, and Conor Riley as the offensive line coach, Brian Schottenheimer did the one thing that we wanted Mike to do: hire suitable candidates who were specialized in the spot where they're hired at. We don't know a Jeff Belasco. I've never heard of that guy. We know who Mike Solari is, but Mike Solari, a little long in the tooth, and just like Mike McCarthy, a bit archaic. And I've been throwing around this word all offseason: conviction and the lack thereof. There's been no conviction, none whatsoever. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. You came. You showed up. That's all that matters, and I appreciate you, bro. Y'all helping me out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's the same thing. It's that word that just keeps bugging me, conviction. And with the previous regime, the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we were convicted in our run game, if Mike McCarthy was convicted in the the personnel that we had, then Rico Dowdle would have been 1,400-yard rusher. Facts. Sorry, that's just how I see it. That's how I feel. Dak would have had a better go at it. He probably wouldn't have got injured so soon. Because little do people know, contrary to popular belief, Dak has been nursing an injury all off season last season. You saw it with the walking boot. So if we were convicted in the personnel that we had, the scheme that we were running, you know what I'm saying, the things that we were trying to implement, then we would have had a better go at it. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So now we're here. We're here with Ryan Schottenheimer. We're here with Clayton Adams. We're here with Connor Riley. You know what I'm saying? Now, that brings to mind running backs, right? If you're gonna talk O-line, that's that the two main focal points that go with the O-line are the quarterback and the running back. Those two pieces right there, all three of those pieces work in symmetry. They have to, because if they don't, you get a 7-10 season. You know what I'm saying? So last year, I even said it. Last off season, I said it to myself. I said, "Listen, like people would ask, what are we going to do at running back?" I said, "I don't care what we do at running back. Whoever runs behind this line is going to be a pretty good running back." And it held true to an extent. If there was conviction in the personnel that we had, if there was conviction, what's going on, Meech? How are you? If there was conviction in the play calling that we had. Again, Rico Dowdle would have been a 1,400-yard rusher if he got the start from the beginning. But we were not convicted in the things that we wanted to do. We played games with our food. You know what I'm saying? We played games with our food. We went with what tastes good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we let Rico walk. It's a shame that we let Rico walk. It's a shame, but it is what it is. You know, if I think if Rico would still be here, I think he would flourish under a Clayton Adams and a Connor Riley. I'm not saying he's James Conner, but he runs with the same ferocity. He runs with the same ferocity. A lot of us probably wouldn't agree, but I liked Rico. I thought Rico had something. Unfortunately, the coaching staff did not. So now we're here. We have Jadon Blue, Phil Maffa, which some people are out on. I don't understand why we haven't seen them. But like, if you were looking for standouts at OTAs, you're kidding yourself. If you're looking for standouts at OTAs, you're kidding yourself. Listen, as much as I love Zeke, I appreciate everything he's done for this team from 2016 up until last season. I appreciate everything he's done for this team. I do. I will never ever talk bad about Ezekiel Elliott. I will not. But something has to be said about the way he was brought back in and the usage thereof. Right? We didn't use him honestly at all. Like compared, it was a true running back by committee. For what reason? Who knows? We don't have Aaron Jones here. We don't have Saquon Barkley. We don't have Derrick Henry. We don't have those guys. Those guys are they're different. Those guys are different. You know what I'm saying? We had an opportunity to get them. Blame the front office for that. But we had an opportunity to get them. And even if we got them, would they have had the same production that they had with the teams that they're with now under the regime that we had? Because if Mike McCarthy and the offensive coaching staff showed that lack of conviction in what they wanted to do, I really don't think they would have had a better shot here. I really don't think we would have had a better shot with them. So we had what we had. It sounds good when you hear, oh, well, it's Saquon Barkley. Yeah, let's be honest. Saquon Barkley was what in New York? Oh, wait. Saquon Barkley showed who Saquon Barkley was when you're running behind a well-oiled machine such as the Philadelphia offensive line. Say what you want about them. They have the best O-line in the league. Say what you want about them. Say what you want about them, but they're disciplined. They're convicted in the things that they wanted to do. So adding Saquon to that, knowing that your quarterback is a threat, knowing that he can, even if he can't roll out the way he wants, you know what I'm saying, he still has the wide receivers, the tight end, and he still has the offensive line. He still has the offensive line, and that matters. That matters more than anything else, because if you don't have a good offensive or defensive line, everything else doesn't matter. All you have is a bunch of guys now. All you have is a bunch of guys. So everything, like when they say everything starts up front, that's true. Everything literally starts up front. It literally starts there, because if there's even a minutia of a breakdown in your offensive line, that could kill your entire play. That can kill your entire play. Yeah. We should have. The key word there is should have better QB play. We should have better QB play. I hope we have better QB play. I think we do, adding Dak Prescott back into the fold. I think we definitely do have better QB play in that aspect. But what's behind him? It's all an unknown. Even Will Grier. Let's be honest. We haven't seen Will Grier in action since he left here. Since he put up 30 some odd points on the Ravens in a preseason game that Dak coached, that Dak called. You know what I'm saying? So what do we really have? We have Dak, of course. Joe Milton, I don't think he can be worse, but I think he can be better. I'm hoping that he is. I'm sincerely hoping that he is. But what I'm looking for this offseason, what I'm looking to find out this offseason with this team is, what is your play scheme like? How convicted are you in that play scheme? Are you really going to take a lot of pressure off of Dak Prescott? Are you really going to allow your receivers to play to their ability? Here it is. Are you going to put your pieces in place where they can succeed? That's what it is. That's what I want. Are you going to put the pieces in place so that they can succeed? Because let's be honest, last year everybody wanted to throw Tyler Guyton in the trash. Okay, well, let's say he doesn't make a jump. Let's say what we're seeing in the offseason, everything he said, the people that he's working with, it's all a smokescreen, and he hasn't progressed. Does that mean you roll him out there anyway and hope for the best? No. There is a player who played better than him last season. Unfortunately, he didn't get much of a shot. You know what I'm saying? So I think Awesome Richards has an opportunity to make some hay. What is this, year 3, year 4 for Awesome Richards? You know what I'm saying? As a swing tackle anyway, or a swing offensive lineman, because I've seen him play guard, I've seen him play tackle. You know what I'm saying? So is this an opportunity for him? Can Tyler Guyton take that jump? Who else do we got? Hakeem Adeniji, can he come in and do something? Because some of the older group that we got out of free agency and trades along the way, can they have a resurgence? See, Shoddy and Stephen Jones said he wants the best players. He wants to put the best roster out on the field. And sometimes your best roster may not involve a number one pick. Sometimes your best roster may not involve a number two pick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your best roster may not even involve one of the guys that you have that's a dog. Sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. So if he's going to hold true to that, I don't want to see any type of politics. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see any type of politics because that's what we got last season. That's what we got the year before. You know what I'm saying? We have a guy on the defense who hits like a tree, hits hard as hell. I love Donovan Wilson when he's coming downhill. He can't cover. Wanye may not be able to hit as hard, but I'm sure he's willing to tackle and he can cover. You know what I'm saying? Marquise Bell. We saw what he can do as an undersized linebacker. So we know that he can play the safety spot well. We know that. Malik Hooker's getting up there in age. You know what I'm saying? I understand that he has probably the biggest sponsor in the room in Eberflus, but let's be honest. If you're going to put the best roster on the field, sometimes, just sometimes, it may not involve the dudes who have the best sponsors. It may not involve the dudes who've been here a long time. It may not involve them. We already know. Dak, safe. CD, safe. Micah, safe. Osa, safe. There's no politics needed there because we already know what they can do. We know what they can bring us. And I'm going to be honest. I don't even think Jake Ferguson is safe. And I love Fergie. I do. I fucking love Fergie. But I don't think he's safe because of last year. And I understand there was injury and Dak missing 11 games. Like, yeah, I get it. It was a bad time. It was a bad time. It was a bad time. But to see Luke Schoonmaker come in and now, just because I'm bringing up Scooney does not mean that I think he's going to take his spot. No, not at all. What I'm saying is to have the woes that we had last season, where Fergie didn't score not one touchdown, had a few fumbles, it wasn't looking good for him. To have Scooney come in and actually produce, it may not have been at Ferguson level, but he still produced. He still caught touchdowns. Say what you want. he actually blocked better. Say what you want. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to field the best roster, make sure there's no politics involved and let the best man play on that field. Because if you don't, you're going to run the risk of another 7-10 season. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, yeah, a 7-10. Hold on, understand. We were just 12-5 3 consecutive years. So last year was a misnomer. Last year meant nothing. The Joneses even told you the part of our plan was to screw the pooch and then do what we did now. That literally said that. The part of our plan was to screw the pooch, not put anything around anybody. Remember when he said, we'll go as far as Dak takes us? He meant that. He meant that. And that was in 23. He meant that in 24. This was the year they wanted to make their hay. If they couldn't bring back Mike McCarthy, these were the things that were things that were put in place to be implemented. These things right here. You know what I'm saying? Probably maybe not getting Shoddy, but he's here. and then allowing Shotty to do what you should allow any coach should do. Pick his own staff. Go after his own staff. And the fact that he went after coveted guys, he didn't go after just, dudes he knew. You know what I'm saying? He went after coveted coaches. He went after those dudes. You know what I'm saying? Clayton Adams, number one, what was that? Number 4 and number 7 in rushing and offensive line efficiency the past couple years in Arizona. Same thing in Indy when he was there. Conor Riley, I just broke it down for you. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best offensive linemen have played for Conor Riley. He's a 5-time FCS national championship winning offensive line coach. Offensive line coach. Offensive line, not OC, offensive line coach. When you can command that type of production from your offensive line, that means something. That means you understand what it takes to win up front. Remember, Shotty said it in his presser. I want to be able to win on the line. I want to be able to win on both sides of the line, defense and offense. You got to win on the line. How did the Eagles do it last year? They won on the line. How did the Chiefs do it for the past couple of years? They won on the line. Shit, look at Detroit. There's a reason why their run attack is so prominent. Look at their offensive line. When you got a Penei Sewell and this one and that one, and great coaching mingled in with it, that matters. A lot of people are forgetting about Damone Clark, but only because you have the overshones. You have the Damaris Leas fouls. And then his showing in 2023 left little to be desired. Now, you can't put that all on Damone Clark. You got to put that in the context of coaching. You do. Because, again, you were asking this guy, for one, we were running out there undersized anyway. Okay? We were running out there undersized with Marquise Bell. Then you ask this guy to do something he's not good at doing, covering. No, he's a downhill guy. He is a downhill guy. That's what you want from Damone Clark. You want Damone Clark attacking. You don't want Damone Clark. What's the deal? Oh, shit. My brother's in here. What's up, bruh? How you? That's my brother, Osama bin Laden. That's my guy. Good to see you up in here, bro. It's just when you look at Damone Clark and his deficiencies, the fact that he wasn't used by Zimmer last year, you can say spoke volumes. Kind of gave up on him. Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, that's just. But he did. But you can also pin that. You can also pin that on the Joneses. When, what's his name? 54, Seattle. Now he's in Washington with them. You know what I'm saying? When Dan Quinn asked for personnel, he got scoffed at. The most personnel he got was Jonathan Hankins. Okay. Yeah, Wagner. Bobby Wagner. Bobby fucking Wagner. That's who Quinn wanted here in Dallas. Bobby Wagner wanted too much. And again, let me make this absolutely clear. When it comes to free agency, getting guys in and trades and getting guys in, it's one thing if the Joneses don't try. It's one thing it's one thing if it's the Derrick Henry situation. It's one thing if it's the Saquon Barkley situation. But when you're looking at other guys, you also have to take into account, do they want to come here? Do they want to come to Dallas? You know what I'm saying? Do they want to be here? Because if they don't want to, we can offer them whatever. Some dudes that take the money and run. Cool. I'll take the money. Like, let's go. But other dudes are like, no, I want to play for a contender. Granted, whether we're a contender or not, we're not as we're not as we're not as coveted of a franchise as we used to be. We're not. We've had some issues. We've with with the Joneses, the culture has not been a good one. It's not been a good culture. That's why we got Shotty here. We're trying to change the narrative, but for the most part, we did not have a very good culture. So to think that the Drake Greenlaws want to be here, the Jonathan Allens want to come here, whether we offer it to them or not, because quiet as kept, we tried to get Drake Greenlaw. He didn't want to come here. He didn't want. We tried to get what's his name, Smith. He went to Detroit in the middle of the season last year. We tried to get him too. Nope, didn't want to come here. Didn't want to come here. So it's not for lack of trying. You also have to. It's a two-way street. Two people have to play in this. Me and you. I'm the guy offering you the check. Do you want to come play for me? No. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So then we go out there and we get the Kenneth Murrays. Then we go out there and we get the Jack Sanborns. Then we go out there and grab the Kyrie Elams. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys needed when you come into the league, you don't have a choice of where you're going. You don't have a choice of where you're going. So when people say, "Oh, well, he was a bust," no. You got to look at the organization they went to. It's either you're going to a crappy one or you're going to a great one. And if you're going to a great one, you're getting picked late in the third, and you're getting picked late in the first. You know what I'm saying? Between 20 and 32. That's where those guys are going to good teams. 1 through 20, I don't know, unless somebody trade up to get you. That's just how that's life. That's the way it works. You know what I'm saying? Elam was not a scheme fit. He was not, and that's what it comes down to. We can want all the play. Savon Rebel. He was projected to be a number one. He was projected to be a first round pick. He fell to the third due to an injury. But who's to say that he fits in our system, in an Eberflus system? Who's to say that? We don't know. We don't know. We won't know until we see it. Hence why, in about a week and a half, we'll have training camp. And with training camp comes good business. Good business for everybody. I get to tell you guys about it. We get to sit and watch it together. We get to sit and talk about it together. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Training camp football brings people together. And it's bringing us together tonight. And I'm enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to Conor Riley. Oh, Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley, he's done some things. He's done some things in his time coaching, his 20 years in college coaching. So, I mean, again, that tells me that Brian Schottenheimer understands that he is not the smartest man in the room. And if I want to win, I have to get people smarter than me in the positions where I know that they can fit. Clayton Adams, Conor Riley. And I say what you want. I think it's a great fit. I think we're gonna have probably like a fringe top 10 offensive line this year. Dumbing it down for a reason. I don't want high expectations. So a fringe top 10 offensive line. I think we'll probably be first year head coach. We'll probably be middle of the pack as a rushing team. I think we'll probably have like a top 8 offense, between top 5, top 8 offense. With the weapons that I'm seeing, man, with the weapons that I'm seeing, we can compete with anybody. We really can. We can compete with anybody. We just have to. We as fans have to sit back and allow the coaches to do what they do. We are not going to know what our team is until week 4, week 5, week 6. Those 3 weeks right there will tell you all you need to know about your team. Will tell you all you need to know about your team. If we're historically bad, then get prepared for a long season. You know what I'm saying? But if we, all right, I'll say this. If we come out 3-5 the first 8 weeks, don't hang your head. Don't hang your head. I don't care. I don't care what the schedule looks like. I don't care what the narrative is. Okay. I don't, because any of these teams can be beat. Any of these teams can be beat. And then you have to understand it takes 11 dudes on each side doing their job to compete. And that's what I want to see from this team. I don't want to see anybody taking a playoff. I want to see fight and tenacity out of everyone on this team. I don't want to see one of my offensive linemen getting more penalties than he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think those will be dropped. I think that the penalties will definitely start to diminish year 1. It'll get better as, you know, the years go on, you know, under Brian Schottenheimer. I want to see better play out of my wide receivers. I want to see better play out of my running backs. I want to see better play out of my quarterback. I want to see better play out of my center, left guard, right tackle, left tackle. I want to see it all. And then if you want to switch it to the defensive side, we already know we semi already know what we got there. My only question is the safeties. That's my only question. Safeties. My safety room. I just, depending on how you want to play it, and they did drop drastically under Zimmer. You know what I'm saying? Because he's more like the first half of the season, you know what I'm saying? But the second half of the season, yeah. When he said, "Fuck it, I'm implementing my scheme, and we're gonna go full force with it." Cool. That's when you saw a full Zimmer defense. It's a shame he didn't come back, because I honestly think, look, I think they need to give Wanye a shot, Marquise Bell, and Israel Mukuamu. Those are the 3 names on this defense I feel deserve a shot. Most people listen to Tuai and Skywalker today, right? And Tuai is of the belief that Israel Mukuamu is a boundary corner, and he is. He is by archetype. He's a long dude. Yeah, he is. He's your boundary guy. But I've also seen him play well in the slot. I understand that Deron Bland doesn't want to play in the slot because, let's be honest, he's a boundary corner too. What we saw year 1 was out of necessity. Remember, Jordan Lewis went down, so he came in. That was just out of necessity. You know what I'm saying? Year 2, he's out on the boundary. He excels. Year 3, injury, such and such, but he comes back and he does well. So, healthy year. I would not mind having Wanye, Marquise Bell, and Israel Mukuamu in the slot. In the slot, I would not mind that at all. I think that adds an element to our defense that makes us a little bit more chippy. You know what I'm saying? Because Wanye got fight. Wanye got some fighting. Marquise Bell, we already know what he got. He got a chip on his shoulder every day. And then is he not getting a chance when he should have gotten more of a chance? Yeah. I think, and you guys remember a couple of weeks ago they were talking about George Pickens, you know, torching our corners. You know what I'm saying? And Israel fired back like, well, don't just talk about him torching. Talk about what we did. Talk about what I did. Like, I got at him too. I like that. I like that. Most people downplay it like, oh man, he shouldn't have clapped back. That just shows immaturity. No, that shows a dog. Hold on, bro. He wasn't just torching me. I was getting out on him too. Like, understand that. I was getting out on him too. I like that. Now, if you have a choice, do you want your wide receivers getting shut down by your corners in practice, or do you want your corners getting toasted by your wide receivers? I'd rather have my corners getting toasted by my wide receivers, because not everybody is CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on every team. Not every team has a George Pickens and a CeeDee Lamb. Not every team has a George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, or Ryan Flournoy, or Jonathan Mingo. Granted, Tolbert, a lot of people say he's solidified to 3. I beg to differ. My own personal belief, I beg to differ. Until I see irrefutable proof that one of these guys can successfully grab that wide receiver 3 spot and hold it and just like solidify it, it's a wide receiver 3 by committee to me. I mean, yeah, somebody's got to be the 4, right? But no, it's a wide receiver 3 by committee. Because, I mean, think about it. They're talking about using Tolbert at the 3, but yet we need to get reps for Mingo because he was traded for. I mean, draft capital was used for him. But we did just pay Turpin, and they want to implement him more into the offensive scheme. But you also have a draft pick in Ryan Flournoy. I think he deserves a shot. But then you also have 2 UDFAs in Trayshawn Holden and Josh Kelly. The way people talk about Trayshawn Holden, he's the 3. I don't know. That's why we're here waiting for training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can find out who can be the 3. But if you ask me, I think it's a wide receiver 3 by committee until further notice. That's just where I sit with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the camp battles. I'm looking at. I want to see Tyler Booker go up against Osa. I want to see Tyler Booker go up against Osa, and I want to see Tyler Booker go up against Solomon Thomas. That's what I want to see. I want to see how that's going to work out. Because if Tyler Booker whoops ass, I won't think lower of my DTs. I won't, because they're both 3 techs. They're both 3 techs. So I won't think any lower of them. If Tyler Booker comes out and just completely demolishes Mozzie Smith or a Jay Toia, then we have a problem. What's going on, Sherry? How are you? Yeah, if they come out and just like totally, if a rookie comes out and totally demolishes my 3rd year 1 tech, we got a problem. If he comes out and totally demolishes my 1st year 1 tech, all right. I mean, y'all both rookies, and he's a 7th round pick. And I honestly hold. I don't think draft position holds weight with me, because you can find a 5th round pick in a corner as opposed to a 1st round pick as a corner, and that 5th round pick has produced more. In fact, I can prove it. I can prove it. We just talked about a 5th round corner. His name is Deron Bland. And in those 2 years where he's had starts in 2 different areas, the slot and on the boundary, he's amassed 14 interceptions, 6 pick sixes. Whereas the 1st round pick corner and Sauce Gardner hasn't done anything close. So draft position holds no weight for me. I mean, you don't believe me? Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. 7 Super Bowls, 6th-round pick. Dak Prescott, 4th-round pick. After this year, he's going to be the all-time leading passer, all-time leading quarterback in Cowboys history. Book that. Book that. He don't need much to do it. He don't need much to do it. And he's done it in less time. He did it in less time. So draft position, that don't mean nothing to me. It's all about, I said it a couple of lives ago. The 3 things you need for a successful Super Bowl winning team. You need dogs. Doesn't matter where they're drafted. You need dogs. Those dogs need discipline. Again, doesn't matter where you're drafted. Your pedigree is your pedigree. 3rd, just a little bit of luck. Just a little bit of luck. Because if you have those dogs that are well-disciplined, i.e. the Philadelphia Eagles, you're well-disciplined, the luck, it'll be there. Heard that. Good looking, bro. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing, honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what the coaches are about. I think those guys are going to be the main thing I look at during preseason games. I think I'm going to digest that area while everybody else is digesting the players. I'm going to digest the coaches. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they matter more than the personnel. Yes, you should have dogs. Yes, you want the best players. Yes, you do. Let's not make no bones about this. But even with the best players, if your coaching is shitty, doesn't matter who you got. Doesn't matter who you got. You don't believe me? Look at Minnesota. I'm just saying that, and nothing wrong with the coach that they have. Nothing wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with him. It's just they just don't have it all together. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Listen, don't pay him no mind. That's my brother. Okay, don't pay him no mind. He's not even a Pigeons fan. Like, this dude is a New England fan. Like pay him no mind. I should know. I tatted it on. So yeah, man. I can't even beat the birds. Get out of here. Go to sleep. Go. Yeah. Turn on Boys to Men. Make love to your wife. You know what I'm saying? I think the coaches is what's going to do it for me. This upcoming preseason. I want to see how Shoddy handles things, especially with the Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, Will Greer thing. I want to see how he handles the running back room, since that is the biggest point of emphasis. yeah. Get him. I ain't mad. He ain't going to do nothing. That's my brother. Get him, Meech. Get him. Like, yeah, I got goons, bruh. I got goons. But yeah, I want to see. I really want to see what they can do in the running back room. I do. I want to see how this offensive line gels. You know what I'm saying? Even with the ancillaries. You know what I'm saying? Because what do we still have, like 14 offensive linemen? You know what I'm saying? So we don't even have to run the same linemen out there all 3 games. We can run out there with a certain lineup for 3 games. You know what I'm saying? I agree to an extent. I'll say this: they tried, because no, it's not the Saquon Barkleys. No, it's not the Josh Jacobs. No, it's not the Derrick Henrys. But All I've been hearing all offseason was, oh, well, we need a name, we need a name, we need a name. Because that's like, I want him, I want him, I want him. And most of them just have names, right? If there's any running back that I would have definitely stood on the table for is James Conner. Trade for him. Get me that guy. You know what I'm saying? The draft fell the way the draft fell. As much of a board as you and I may have Angry, you and I may have Meach, you and I may have, you know what I'm saying, Jerry, Dak Combs, as many boards as you and I may have, right? Because we've done some mock drafts, you know what I'm saying? And I say none of these guys were any of the guys we picked. Not one. Not one. Now, one of these guys was a guy that we picked. The first three guys that they picked were all projected first rounders. All projected the best in their class or close to the best in their class. So all projected first rounders, right? Their board is different. What they think, what they believe our needs are different than what we know our needs are. We know we need a stud running back. But again, is that a guarantee that that's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a guarantee. Like, we knew, again, we all have boards. So if we like a person, the 32 other teams and their fan bases also have a board. They also like a person. So they're looking at the same thing we're looking at. They're looking at the same exact thing that we're looking at. It's like, ooh, yeah, I want that. And we should go get that. We should go get that. So with the running back room, was it neglected in the sense that we didn't get that splash guy? I'll agree. But I don't think it was so neglected that we're gonna run out there with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like Javonte Williams, he's actually a pretty good back. Couple years removed off of an injury, a bad one at that. Miles Sanders. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, he didn't really do anything," and I agree with you. Everything else has been bargain basement. It has. But at the same time, did we use them in the best possible way that we could use them? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Rico could have been a 1,400-yard back. We did not use him in that sense. We did not. We neglected. That coaching staff neglected Rico Dowdle. That coaching staff did that. That coaching staff got Rico out of here. Because I think this coaching staff could have definitely grabbed on to Rico and actually made some hay with him. I do. Unfortunately, the previous regime didn't see it that way. I got to keep talking. This is what we do. You know what I mean? We talk, baby. We talk. So, yeah, Javonte Williams, 2 years removed off of an injury. I had him in fantasy, and he didn't do too bad. But, I mean, of course, that was a committee over there, and like he just fell out of favor. So, could this be a resurgence? It could be. I mean, it could be a resurgence for him. It could be a healthy resurgence for him, or it could potentially be bad. We don't know. All we're doing is just sitting here speculating. But at the end of the day, we still got names. Miles Sanders. You heard most of you guys heard me say a couple of lives ago, will we get the Miles Sanders of 2022? Or are we going to get the Miles Sanders in Carolina? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know which Miles Sanders we're going to get. But keep in mind, we also didn't have this level of coaching. We had dudes who weren't even qualified to coach. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, Sherry. DC4L. I think so too. For force, bruh. Like, you're telling me, yes, we went from 4.6 yards a carry with Rico Dowdle to almost a full yard less with Javonte Williams. But a Javonte Williams who didn't have a stout offensive line. He was in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Javonte Williams coming off of a torn ACL and something with the MCL. I thought it was two and one. I thought it was like a 2-1 deal. And then we have Miles Sanders, albeit he's been healthy, but he just didn't work out, and he didn't work out in Carolina. I mean, hopefully we get something out of him. I mean, and that's not even talking about the Jadon Blues and the Phil Moffas. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's it right there. Everybody's not. There's only one Saquon. There's only one Derrick Henry. There's only one. Rico Dowdle, I thought last season did a very good job with the limited snaps that he had. He didn't really get a full go at it until week 11, and still went over 1,000 yards. Granted, that was around the time this was after Dak goes out, and this is around the time where Mike McCarthy decides, oh well, Cooper Rush is in, so we have to run the ball more. Out of necessity. It was necessity. You know what I'm saying? You knew you weren't getting much out of Zeke anymore, because it was literally he runs for 1 yard and down. You know what I mean? Defense, yeah. It was a mediocre rushing attack. Opportunistic defense and undisciplined. You can't stop the run. And I'm hoping that's not what we see. Because I'm not saying give me an elite running back room. Okay, you got to get lucky to get an elite running back room with an elite wide receiver room with an elite offensive line with an elite quarterback play with elite defense. Good luck. Good luck there. I want serviceable. I want good. I want 4.6 yards a carry. I'm not asking for 5. I want 4.6. Here's why. Because you run the ball twice, guess what? That's a first down. Run the ball twice, the first down. I'm not saying I want you to go out there and average 15 yards a carry. That's impossible. Not so impossible. Saquon did it. But that's Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? That's him. That's Saquon. Saquon's always been able to play at this level. Unfortunately, Saquon was in New York. Okay? But you just have to be committed to upgrade it. I'll give you that too. And from what we've seen from the Joneses is, are they that committed? Are they that committed? Because if they were, we would have had that, right? If they were that committed, we would have had it. But unfortunately, we didn't. Well, yeah, man. I mean, I'm just looking forward to this whole training camp experience. I wish I could be out there in Oxnard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what? Not last year, the year before. Last year was Bijan, wasn't it? I think last year was Bijan, or was that the year before? Who was it last year? I know last year was Bucky Irving. Who was that other kid? I would have loved to have Zach Charbonnet. This is true. Yeah. I mean, the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why our Cowboys constantly say, I understand that this is a business. But Jonathan Brooks. Yes, indeed. Last year was Jonathan Brooks. And if we'd have got Jonathan Brooks, maybe we would have been in a better situation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like they stole Tetherall and McMillan, right? Like, they just taking everything we want. But again, that goes into what I was saying about our boards. We may want one thing. That doesn't necessarily mean no other team doesn't want that same thing. Who, Jonathan Brooks? I mean, damn, that sucks. We can only wish for the best, man. Sometimes that injury bug is real. It should get real. Yeah, I've been on for an hour with you guys, man. I appreciate everybody jumping in. I really do. Uh, Still working out the nerves and trying to get these streaming platforms going, and I'm just having a real difficult time with it, but I'll get it done, especially in time to like do some interviews of some of the people I want to interview. So yeah, but I wanted again, I appreciate everybody for coming in. Angry, my guy. 100%. I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate the feedback. You already know what it is here. You know what I'm saying? My brother, Meech, good looking. Thank you for coming on. I hope you subscribe, share, like, subscribe, man. Cost you nothing to be kind. Cost you nothing to be kind, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to, give my voice. And again, I know I'm not right in everything that I say. You know what I'm saying? It's just my opinions. You know what I'm saying? And if there's something that I don't know, please inform me. I'm right there. I don't mind listening. But again, man, I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm about to go smoke one, you know what I'm saying, and fall back. Probably play some Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You know what I'm saying? That joint just dropped. So yeah. And yeah, I'll probably be on. I'll probably be back on live again Tuesday. Oh wait a minute, it's Monday. Okay, so Wednesday will probably be. Yes sir, yes sir. I've been running that joint all weekend, bro. I've been running that joint all weekend. That joint all right. Yo, by the way, my gamer tag on Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Add a brother. You know what I'm saying? Probably get into some Call of Duty, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, man. Again, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all very much for being here. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to be a lot of y'all. I don't mind it being a little. I'm talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all. It's the Basement Boys. Hoodie Kush. Get with y'all later.